Well, hello there, Virgos, and welcome back to Sunshine for the Soul. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me today. This is the last reading for the fall equinox, Virgos, last but not least, and we're taking a look at what in us can we fall back in love with, what action can we take to better align ourselves with the person we are truly meant to be. When we look at fall, it is a time of reaping the harvest, a time of bringing into fruition all of the rewards that we have invested in. Seeds that we planted, we nurtured those seeds. We made sure they had adequate sunlight and water. We tended to certain things in our life so that we evolve and place ourselves in a position that allows us more satisfaction and more fulfillment. On our journey of self-discovery, also called your ascension or your spiritual awakening, we go through a hard time of healing and growth while we become more self-aware, while we become awakened to our divinity. So now is the time for integration of everything we have learned. Now is the time to take action. So I'm pulling a Shaman Stream Oracle card for you, and you are the only zodiac sign that had two cards pop out. And we've got card number 19, the Falling Angel, Spiritual Narcolepsy. And we've got card number 36, Lost in Space, Needing Direction. And that's funny because 19 plus 19 is 36. So with the Fallen Angel, the Spiritual Narcolepsy, my Pisces video that was released goes into in-depth detail about a few different types of narcolepsy: physical narcolepsy, emotional narcolepsy, and spiritual narcolepsy. But now we're adding a whole new twist. You know, a narcolepsy is when we're in a stupor. It's when we're not connected to ourselves, where we've fallen asleep at the wheel of being connected to our divinity. So Virgos, are you searching for something but you're not sure which direction to go in this lost in space? We see an angel, like kind of from the Gilded Age, holding the earth in her hands. Her eyes are closed. You know, have you been in a spiritual narcolepsy or stupor, detached from who you truly are and searching to find yourself again and discover your mission or your life's purpose? That's part of our spiritual awakening. That's part of our ascension, is aligning ourselves with the mission that we came down here as an energetic being to fulfill. So are you tired of floundering around with no sense of purpose? You know, like a fish flops out of the water with no ability to get back into the water, back into their comfortable, safe environment, but they are at the mercy of the person who fished them out of the water. You know, unlike the poor helpless fish that is subject to the circumstances beyond its control of the fisherman, we have universal free will to take the reins and steer the direction of our lives that we'd like it to go. We are the co-creators of our reality. We are not helpless victims at the hand of a punishing higher power. Unlike the fish flopping on the shoreline, we are given the opportunity to incarnate on the schoolroom of earth and co-create along with Source the experiences that we desire to have. We do not have to stay in a spiritual narcolepsy any longer. You're being presented with the opportunity to ascend, to reconnect with your divinity as a spiritual energetic being and change your course and outcomes to what your heart truly desires. You know, as we become self-aware of our innate ability to choose our own path, it does allow us the opportunity to be the magicians of our own lives. Not a victim that is tossed to and fro on the high seas of life, but a powerful energetic being whose sole purpose is to be in a constant state of change and transformation. So to remove ourselves out of our spiritual narcolepsy and align ourselves with our divine purpose, we must first embrace change. Now, what stops us from embracing change? The fear of the unknown. Think about if every astronaut was too fearful to go out into space and explore, to go live on the International Space Station, to be vulnerable in so many aspects and risk what can actually go wrong out there. But we find that if they can step out of their comfort zone, step out and embrace change, embrace doing something we've never done before, we should ask ourselves, what our fears are really drawing our attention to. What part of us holds on to the same old and denies growth and change. And that's because of fear that is embedded into our belief systems and into our constructs of this reality. And I'm here to tell you it's 11/11. It's done on purpose. The news is filled with nothing but fear-based information to direct you, to intentionally put you in a lower vibrational state where you're less connected from source and less connected from your powers, less connected to knowing that you're a co-creator of your universe. So the news never has anything positive to say. There's never a single story that you can find out there that sheds some beauty into the world, some kindness, some compassion, in all the earthquakes and the floods and the volcanoes and all the terrible things that are happening right now. How many news medias take advantage of the fact of all the beautiful things of people coming together during these challenging times, of people helping one another, lending a helping hand? They don't want you to focus on the beauty that happens. These things they take advantage of in order to promote their fear-based agenda of keeping you from that higher vibrational frequency that we are supposed to be entering into. We know now that what we put into our minds is what comes out. Where our attention goes, our energy flows. If we stay in low energy and we focus on nothing but the fear around us, we are doing nothing more than attracting more of the same. What you put out is what you get back. What you reap is what you sow. As above, so below. With these two cards, I think the universe is prompting you, Virgo, to get out of that spiritual narcolepsy, to get out of that stupor where you did not have any direction, and instead you've been lost in space. You've been lost in the cosmos of the reality that has been presented to you, that is shown to you every day on the TV, which is a false reality. It's not necessary for us to live in a state of fear. We're spiritual energetic beings. We don't even participate in death. All we do is have a transformation. Now we know energy is fluid, so it's constantly changing. It's constantly giving us the opportunities to take a new step in our life, to do something we haven't done, get out of our comfort zones. And it starts by decreasing the amount of fear that we have in our lives. And honestly, turning off the fear-based media that is promoted in our third dimensional reality right now is one of the healthiest things that we can do for ourselves. I'm not saying not understand what's going on. I'm not saying, not to tap in and be fully aware of the circumstances surrounding our world right now, but not to stay zoned in and focused on it. Not to have that be our only place where our attention goes. We need to consciously shift our attention onto things that are of higher energy, to send everybody light and love and warmth that are going through difficult times. If you send them fear-based, if you send them, hopelessness, if you send them in a way that is a lower energy, meaning that your energy that you're putting on the circumstances that you're seeing on the TV is contributing to that energy. What I suggest and what I've been trying to do is when I see these challenging things that other countries are going through and other areas of the world that's just being bombarded with all these challenges, I just try to send them all the love and light I can. I try to uplift them by supporting them and encouraging them to look at the love, look at the positivity, look at the kindness of those that are coming together to support each other. We are an active participant in the energy that we add to the collective. We're all interconnected energetically. So we want to be sure that what we put out into the world is positive, because if we put out negativity, if we focus on the negativity, that's what we're going to magnetize back into our life, and it's going to keep us in this stuck state. It's going to keep us in this spiritual narcolepsy of really being able to embrace and have all this abundance and all this beauty surround us in our life. What we put out, what we magnetize, comes back to us. So we want to be specific with what energetic frequency we are extending out to the world right now. We want to be able to tap into our intuition, be able to listen to the universe direction of what comes next in our life, what purpose we have. But we can't do that if we're stuck in the energy of fear, guilt, shame, hopelessness, remorse, regret. We have to rise out of those frequencies and put ourselves in alignment with what truly is our soul's purpose and mission. And it's not to sit in a state of fear. It's not to be miserable. It's not to have all this pain and suffering in our life. The universe wants us to step into alignment with our mission so that it can bring in all the abundance, all the love, all the rewards. We look back, what part of us can we fall back in love with? And that's, focusing on the magic of the universe, like waking up every morning not knowing what's going to happen, but being in step with the universe and having faith and trusting that the process we are going through right now of seeing all things transform. Our institutions are falling apart. Inside of us, we're clearing out these dense, low energies that we've held on to from our traumas from years past that needed to be healed, even generational wounding that need to be healed, and even lifetimes of wounding that needed to be healed. As we go through this transformation, as we rise in frequency within our bodies, within our communities, within our countries, and within our world, it is allowing us the opportunity to find our path. It's allowing us to follow the direction of the universe and have the universe lead us as a co-creator of our realities into this next very exciting time that we're going into. So I encourage you guys, Virgos, don't focus on that negativity. Turn on good music that's uplifting. Avoid conversations where people are talking negatively about somebody or passing judgment on somebody. And the universe is asking us too, we can't pass judgment on other people, because even if they're dark, even if they're low energy, even if they're challenging us, even if they're bringing conflict into our lives, it is our responsibility to protect ourselves and to take a stand on what we allow into our lives. Energetically, we have to be responsible for the energy that we bring in and the energy that we put out. And this message is reminding us that as a co-creator of the universe, we have to become self-aware of the energetic frequencies that we are allowing into our lives. We have to become aware of the energetic frequencies that we're putting out there, because we're all in it together. Everyone's going through a spiritual ascension. We're just at different stages of that process. We're just on different steps, but we're all on the same staircase. So we shouldn't pass judgment against others. We should allow them the space to have their own experience, to evolve in the time period that they need to evolve. And anybody that hasn't resonated in our lives and aren't there anymore, we need to just send them light and love, you guys. Send them all the kindness, all the compassion to whatever anybody else is going through, to hold them up in the light and follow the path that the universe is leading you down, to listen to your intuition of what it is the universe wants you to do next, what your soul's mission is. Our ascension process is all about aligning ourselves with our soul's true purpose that we set out to accomplish when we incarnated here on the schoolroom of Earth. So you guys, I'm super excited about the things to come. Keep holding the light. As Lightworkers and Starseeds, it is our responsibility to hold the light, and the universe is asking us to come out of that spiritual narcolepsy where we had no direction and to follow the path that the universe is lighting up in front of us, the guiding light that brings us to the reality that we really desire. And I thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Start looking for my October readings that are coming out for Halloween and for Friday the 13th, one of my favorite holidays. I've ordered a couple new decks of cards that I'm going to be doing the readings for, and I'm super excited. So if you haven't subscribed, we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers so that I can go live. I just saw 1616. So I do appreciate you subscribing. That helps this channel grow. And you guys have a blessed rest of the week. I will see you at your next reading for Friday the 13th. Check it out. Peace.